their rankings, and we've seen some Davids taking down some Goliaths. You've got to check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, he put the Food Network on the map.
That is a super fact.
But that.
He revolutionized the restaurant game.
Brat.
Author, Emmy Award-winning television presenter,
Brat.
all-around great guy.
That's a frat.
Dumb fun dad.
Drat.
Basketball coach.
Crack.
And well-known party animal. If you caught him on page 6, the one and only Guy Fieri is here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God.
That was Live on Sunday. Yeah, we saw you on page 6.
Oh, was it on page? Let me tell you something. So I'm not a club guy until I go to Live. And I go down to Miami. I don't know what happens. My kid said Hunter was with me, and Hunter's 23, so he can go now.
Oh, wow.
And he's like,
fun.
Dad, what is up? And I'm like, what? I'm like, I love listening to DJs. I was there a couple weeks ago, and Mello was there, Marshmallow was there, and then you go there, and it's I don't know the energy level. I think it's different though, being on the floor in that's a mosh pit of mosh pits.
Yes,
you know?
it's you got to go to Live. If you ever go to South Beach to see it. But I'm just still thinking about the moment my daughter would say to me after hanging out at a club, Dad, what's up? I'm wondering what kind of impression are you setting for your son? What did he witness?
I don't think it was anything that exciting because there's a million cameras and phones doing this to you the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's awesome, and I love energy. I love live music, and I don't care what kind of music it is. But when you watch DJs play and you watch all that enthusiasm and all that creativity, I never understood it. I mean, I just thought like, okay, push that and push that and push that. No, you have to be completely immersed in what's going on and get it, and they get it, man.
Who's your like Heather when she cooks? She plays a lot of music. Like when you at the club, who's your go-to? Like who's the go-to songs that get you turned up, that get you lit at Live?
Yeah, so that's where we're going to get a little shady.
Okay.
That's where we're going to get a little shady because I can't quite follow who was just playing and what that song was. And then I'll hear it 2 weeks later on the radio and I'll go, Hunter, Ryder, what was that song? And then he's like, Dad, we have that whole video that you're there when and you're getting into. I said, I'm sorry, I can barely follow where I'm going tomorrow. But what I love is that when I think I know what the song is and then they remix it and I'm like, I'm lost. I'm getting ready to sing the wrong lyric and they're already onto a whole nother song.
Do all the songs start to blend in and kind of sound alike to you?
But see, that's when you have an eclectic, listening style that I do. We were just talking about Pandora. Is I listen to everything from Rage Against the Machine to Enya.
Okay,
so I'm all the way. Oh, I love some Enya.
Okay, that's dope. Huh?
Late evening after we're done doing dinner, sitting out on the patio, smoking a cigar, having a little tequila, a little Sanyo. So I get.
There you go, man. Get him in this mood. Gonna get him in this mood.
Who could call it up that fast?
Get you in your mood, baby.
But I think people get a trip out of it. But I mean, when we get in the car and you look at all the PlayStations that I have, from Rock the Bells to the '70s to to Rewind to vinyl to you name it to Liquid. I mean, I'm
Shade 4-5.
Well, that's I was just you wouldn't let me drop my hammer.
Okay,
I was just ready to drop it. Shade 4-5, but that's I mean, I guess somebody just took the cat out of the bag.
Guy Fieri is here, man. Hey, I wanted Tournament of Champions. I read through it. This is different. This is the fans actually got a chance to actually win some money too by playing this, right? Can break down the Tournament of Champions. You got 8 chefs from the West Coast, 8 from the East Coast, or how is this working?
So what happens is I think everybody knows during March there's a thing that goes on with college basketball. Well, we have Munch Madness. So that was just coined over on Roland's show, by the way.
That Munch Madness.
Munch Madness. But what it was, so I have Guys Grocery Games, and there's been all kinds of amazing food competition shows on the Food Network and other networks. And I thought, you know what, here's what I want to do. I want to make it so the judging and the competition are separate. I don't want the judges to see what's going on because there's no way you do not get an impression when someone uses a really cool technique or someone screws up that you don't let that register when you get ready to taste the food. I mean, I've seen every competition of Guys Grocery Games, 450 shows, and so I know that there can be that. So I said, if I can make a competition where the judges don't know who's competing, and the competitors, the chefs, don't know who's judging, and people just go out there and it's just bare knuckles, it's just down and dirty, just get it done in 30 minutes, 35 minutes, with all the criteria changing on every competition. What would that be like? And so we kicked it around for a long time and finally got Food Network to sign on, and they said, okay, it doesn't really make you're crazy, but go ahead because usually crazy works with you. So what it is we have a thing called a randomizer. There's 5 wheels. We spin 1 wheel for the protein, spin 1 wheel for the vegetable, 1 wheel for the cooking style, so like sweet and crunchy, 1 wheel for a type of equipment they must use, like a juicer, a spiralizer, a smoking gun, and then 1 wheel is the time. So now you have 2 random chefs head to head. One could be from one type of cooking, the other from the other type, and they just go at it in their period of time. When they're done, they leave the plates on the table. They walk back to the green room. The judges come out. Nobody knows who anybody is, and they taste the food blindly. And the chefs sit in their green room and watch that judging. They watch that just go. That's what I'm saying. I hope after this airs, we're all still family.
Oh, wow. So they're just on the eggshells watching to see what the response is going to be.
I'm on eggshells.
Okay. And it's March 4th, 10 p.m. It's premiering on the Food Network. Make sure you watch it.
Fire.
Do the judges always have to be like credentialed chefs, or could it be like, let's just say, I have to be somebody who has a big following for her cooking online and just that.
So Heather has a following. Heather knows about food. Heather has an opinion, an attitude, and energy. That's what you have to be. It doesn't mean that you have to own a restaurant or that you have to have a show. You have to be able to talk about food. You got to get food. You got to know the variety and the diversity of food. But the truth of food is, you either like it or you don't like it.
That's it, right?
That's the real deal. But I did for the beginning. I did go and get the heavy hitters of the heavy hitters, the folks that have got such a recognition and such a background and such a pedigree that none of the judges or none of the chefs that competed could look at it and go, and I think I got a raw deal because that's what they said. You can't question these judges that I brought. You can't question.
You can't even question them. If you question them, we'll question you.
Is that little white snake playing in the background?
Yeah, that is a little white snake just to get you in the mood.
Guy, what are y'all doing in here? Hey.
There you go, man. We keep a lot of stimulants around us, Guy.
That's your eclectic taste.
Come on,
right?
that's it. No, go ahead.
I like that you have the eclectic taste as well, but just randomly that's on in the background.
From Enya, the white snake kid. Where else?
Guy, you talk about like bringing in some of the heavy hitters, and not to point people out, but there's like this thing with people that cook that some of them are snobs, chefs, really snob, hard to deal with.
You talking about the music business?
holier than thou attitudes, and then a dude like you comes along, is just having fun in the kitchen, wilding out, band, DJ, hair, the whole 9. Like, where did you develop that style from, and how come you weren't afraid to bring that attitude into the kitchen?
Well, I think that in every, and I thank you, those very kind words. And I'll tell you this, I think that in every industry, no matter what the industry, I don't care if you're a truck driver. I mean, no matter what the spectrum is, there are people that think that they are a different level than other people. There's people that prop it that way, and there are people that carry themselves. So I don't think that it's just a food business, but I just think it's about who you are and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about other people and how you feel about society and how you feel about life and and so I was raised by hippie parents in Northern California, so I was always raised with. I mean, we didn't see we were the different ones,
Right.
So I don't see people differently. I just take it all as the experience that it is. But nothing has ever worked in my world, and not that I've had a lot of experience of putting up the front or putting up the Heisman. I don't think that any of those moves have ever really worked well. And I watch folks that do it, and I think that in some aspects it makes them intriguing and unique. And wow, look at that person acting that way. But I'm not a yell. I don't yell. There's just no reason to throw that on people. I mean, that's just my philosophy. I think everybody's choosing whatever they choose they want to do. That's their deal.
Yeah, you're not the yeller.
But that's how you guys are. I mean, I've been in the studio how many times, and I watch the most eclectic mix of people walk through here, and everybody's a fan. And seeing you at we were at NBA All Stars, and you look at all that. You got little kids coming by, you got old dudes coming by, you got families coming by, and then you got heavy hitters coming in.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really how you present yourself and the type of energy and the type of environment and who you want to surround yourself with. But look at all the great energy you got in here.
Yeah, we got a lot of great energy. Yeah, look at old Q.
Guy, on this subject, I'm curious, did your passion for hosting, was that sparked at the same time as your passion for food? Especially now with social media, you're seeing a lot of people, like I'm thinking of Allison Roman from New York Times. She's one of the food columnists over there, and how she's been able to really rise as a food personality. And for the longest time, people were just cooking, but not necessarily also speaking with it.
I didn't have any clue this was coming. I'm a cook. I mean, that's all I was. I had a couple restaurants in Northern California, and I built it up to be a really cool little restaurant program. And it was just a fluke. And I mean, people came and said, "No, you'd really be good on this." And I didn't. I have to be very honest. I never had watched food television. Why would I watch food television? I live in food television all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Know who this is, son.
Hunter was 8 years old, so it was Little League, and it was all that kind of stuff. And then, but when the opportunity did come about, I feel very blessed because I have a message of what I want to say. I think food is the amalgamator of all people. I think that not everybody likes the same music, not everybody likes the same sports, not everybody likes the same politics, not everybody likes all the same stuff, but everybody loves food. Yeah. And if we can just find something that unites folks, you know, and keeps everybody somewhat in the, but food is a great learning ground. You learn, I tell this to kids all the time in schools. I say, please try everything that's put in front of you. Try all the food you can. Because you show me a kid with an open palate, I'll show you a kid with maybe a little bit more of an open perspective. Amen. You taste food from a different country that's not yours. It's like Ryder. Ryder started eating curry when he was like 4.
Wow.
And people are like, how did you get your kid to eat curry? I said, because I didn't make a big deal about it. Yeah. I just said, here, this is what's for dinner tonight. Yeah. And now here's Ryder, who's probably one of his only kids, but Ryder eats sushi and eats curry. And not because I'm a chef, it's because we got to open their minds. We got to open kids' minds to all this stuff, to different music, to different cultures, different religions, different, you know, there's just such a big open opportunity.
You know, we have Rachel Ray here, and you talk about opening your palate and trying out different kind of foods, and she spoke about some of the foods that she was trying, and I wanted to get your feedback on it.
Several years ago, people were accidentally, literally, killing their own pets and, you know, furry family members because we do not regulate imported dog and cat food. So I started making animal food to human standards for me. I eat all of the kibble, cat food, no joke, and I've done it on TV shows just to get people to understand the quality of it.
You're eating kibble in bits?
Oh, yeah, I do. I do. For me, it needs salt, but it's delicious. You can read it like a menu, and I've eaten our cat food, the whole thing.
Wow.
Well, let's just all recognize who Rachel is, because Rachel is the OG. All right, Rachel writes a lot of the scripture that a lot of us follow, and she's been my sister for a long time, and just does wonderful things. And I mean, the amount of money she raises and the amount of money she gives away so much. It's not even, and she doesn't brag about it. She doesn't talk about it. And of course, you know, they wait till you do something bad. Not that Rachel does anything bad, but but if we just went around and did all the philanthropy, newsworthy articles that go on in this world, we'd take all the negative crap off the air. I mean, we really should. And Rachel, I know for a fact, I was just with her in South Beach, and she is just a giving machine. Yeah. And she really is true about that, about the pet food and the dog food. The things that we choose to regulate are so crazy, and what some other countries do, and what they put in a bag in a box, no matter what the shiny label is, and they send. That's some scary shit right there, man. I am a dog owner, so I'm is aware.
Do you use Rachel Ray's dog food?
Yes, I don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you don't.
Yes, I don't.
I need that. Yes, I don't.
Guy look like he cooks for his dog.
No, I'll tell you what it is. My wife is the she's the boss, and she picks the food. But it is an organic. It is a made in the United States. But it is in that same realm of what Rachel is. Dogs are very fitting. We have a dog. We have a gigantic. We have an English Mastiff, and we have a German Shepherd. The German Shepherd's a gigantic house cat, and they are the pickiest dogs in the world. Now I have a Chihuahua, and his name is Smokey, and Smokey will eat anything. Smokey eats what those dogs don't eat. So it's a very funny world, how the world of dog food and what they raised on. Don't get me started.
Didn't know. Okay, we're going to take up some phone calls, 888-742-3345. And then also, Guy brought us some treats right here that we should start. So what did you bring here? I'm going to let DB test it first.
I started this concept with a buddy of mine, Robert Earl, who's the creator of Planet Hollywood. And Robert and I were talking about doing a burger concept because I have this thing called Guy's Burger Joint that's on Carnival Cruise Lines. He says, listen, I know that, and Robert has a big, thick English accent. He says, I know you think burgers are the future. Chicken is the, he says, so build me a chicken. Let's build a chicken concept. So I've been to probably every great barbecue or every great fried chicken joint in the country. And I said, these are the things that make it awesome. Okay, you got to brine the chicken. Got to use really good natural chicken tenders that aren't frozen. Got to use a really good breading. And the key is you got to pressure fry it. So we fry it under pressure so it's not oily. And on top of it all, we make 22 handmade, scratch-made sauces that go along with it. So it's not just going and get a fried chicken and some barbecue sauce and some ranch and some blue cheese. No, we give you things like avocado crema. We give you the curry. We give you
some teriyaki right here, baby.
You get scratch. So we scratch make it ourselves, and it's creative. It's unique. And then we make a few different sandwiches. We make a barbecue sandwich. We put barbecue potato chips on, but it's real simple, real legit, real upfront.
Chicken guy right here. DB, you want to do the honors?
DB. I didn't realize
all right, DB's going to take a bite out of the sandwich.
I got some tenders for you,
got some tenders, too. Circulate the tenders. This is the first bite.
Look how pretty that bread is
it's
right there.
Pretty.
Okay, DB, here he goes. He's going to take that bite. Hey, do it like Rodney Allen Rippey.
Get that man bun going.
That's generous meat in there.
Move your mic. Move your mic. Hey, move your mic. Move your mic.
You bite right into that mic. You don't move that mic.
Okay. Bite into the mic.
Bite in that man bun.
Whoa. Now chew on air.
Oh, my God.
You know what it tastes like?
Like Jesus.
It tastes like Jesus. Okay. Wow.
You should be eating
Okay, now ask your question with the chicken in the mouth.
I've seen you at Sylvester Stallone's house several times. And I think one of the recent videos, it was Sylvester Stallone who brought out Al Pacino while you were cooking.
Bro.
What?
So I have to ask you because
you got chills.
You're a celebrity, but you're cooking for people who is just like, I wouldn't even know. Like, I would fuck up and probably burn the food. So for people who ever get a job who are aspiring chefs and cooks, how do you keep cool and just like separate, the being a fan of someone versus doing your job?
Well, I don't know how keeping it cool I was keeping it cool about. So I'll tell you the story. It's a funny one. Jay Glazer, who's a great buddy of mine, who's actually here in New York with me right now. Jay says, hey, Stallone wants to watch the fight. You want to come to the house?
Stallone?
Wow.
And I had already met Stallone before, and we were at a restaurant one time having lunch, and we were talking about great burgers, and I was telling him about great burgers, and he said, do you think we could make one? And I said, yeah, right now. And he says, and he calls the chef out of this Italian restaurant in Beverly Hills, and he goes, the chef, Wendy, he wants to cook a burger. And the chef's looking at me like, and I'm like, so I go into this Italian restaurant, move everybody off the line, and make Sly this burger. And he loved it, and he videotaped the whole thing. So long story short, we go to his house, and I said, well, if I'm coming to your house, I really want to cook. And they said, well, could he invite some extra people? I'm like, it's your house. Like, So I'm there, and I did bring a pretty spectacular menu.
Okay.
I did bring
you were showing off.
I did bring some Kobe beef. I did bring some truffles.
Okay.
I did bring some lobster. I did bring some goods because I was coming right off the heels of Tournament of Champions. So I go in. And I'm there cooking, and the first, of course, Sly is the greatest host, and Schwarzenegger's there, another phenomenal.
Oh man, you just what?
And Schwarzenegger, and I've known Arnie for a while, but so it's I'm just trying to compose I'm trying to keep it together, man. I'm trying to cook. I'm just trying to get through this, and all of a sudden I get this tap on the shoulder, and I turn around, and this really nice gentleman says, "Excuse me, chef, do you think I can get a picture with you?" Yes, Sugar Ray Leonard, I would be more than happy to have let me pick that up off the ground. I just dropped it. So I'm like losing my mind. And Sugar Ray, again, the nicest guy in the world. And so I'm trying to keep from burning the food, as you said, because I'm going to. And my buddy Ariel's with me, and I finally had to walk outside. I'm like, come here for a second, man, I'll talk to you. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? He goes, oh, no. He goes, I'm just trying to stay out of the way, man. I'm like, don't stay out of the way. Talk to you. So anyhow, long story short, they said, are you ready? And I'm like, what am I going to say? I'm going to say something stupid. He's going to come out and I'm going to go, I'm going to make some Scarface, because I love all of his movies. Godfather is hands down one of my favorite things of all time. And he comes in, and you saw the intro. I want to introduce the legend. I'm a cook. Wow. And he comes in, and I meet, and Al was, when I say Well, it's like coming in and hanging out with you guys. You know, I don't see you for a year, and I come in, it's like we just hung out last night.
Yeah.
You meet the guy, you think you've known him for 100 years. You know, he walks in and he says, "Thank you. What are you making, chef?" And he's just very kind. But I'll tell you, let me cut to the chase. I make him this plate of pasta, and he's taking a bite, and he pushes back from the table and gives me a hoo-yah. That was it.
There you go. You go ahead. Hey.
I can leave.
Wow. Guy Fieri is here, man. Real quick questions. Callers, real quick. He has to go. Ann from Chicago. What would you like to say?
Hi. I am a huge fan of your show, Sway, as well as
Thank
you, Guy. And I think you're just an inspiration for cooks like me. And I just really want to commend you for all that you do for those like myself. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Oh, you're awesome. You're awesome. You know, and that to me is the greatest compliment is I know how many young chefs and how many old chefs and just how many chefs that don't get that spotlight. One of the reasons we did this Tournament of Champions is to put more spotlight on chefs. But it's such a great, it's like people that play music. You know, these chefs, there's so much passion and so much appreciation, so much love. And you go into a restaurant, sometimes you get that and you feel it. But for the people that do it like her just calling in, Ann from Chicago, I mean, she's got it. You can hear it that she's got that passion. So thank you, Ann. I'm glad you're inspired by it.
Dope.
Hey, Ann.
Yeah.
You're a citizen.
A Sway in the morning.
There you go, Ann.
Thank
you got
you.
it.
We love
Go
you.
get it, girl. Rico, what's going on, Rico? You got a question real quick. Go for it.
I do, man. I do. What's up, Sway? What's up, everybody? What's up, Guy?
What's up, Rico?
Man, I listen to y'all every morning. This is big us, man.
Thank you.
Hey, look, Guy, I got a question for you, sir. Look, I just opened up a restaurant probably about 6 months ago, and I know my food is banging.
Hey.
I got a lot of food people out here that's recommending me. I'm growing. So what do a person got to do to get you to come out to visit their restaurant and see what you can do to upscale it or to make it better?
All right, Rico, let me give you the first thing. When you call in, the first thing I want to hear is, "This is Rico from the name of your restaurant." Second thing I want you to say is, "Where is your restaurant?" Those kind of things will help a bunch. And then I'll tell you something. You get the gift right now in this world of social media, which was not what was going on when I started my first restaurants. It was like saving money to get in the yellow pages. I was going to be somebody.
The yellow pages, kid.
No kidding, bro.
Wow.
Come on.
Damn.
Buying the yellow page ad, man. It was the biggest hustle ever. So what I'd say is Rico, is he still there with us?
He's still there.
What's the name of your
I'm
restaurant?
still here. Yeah, I'm here. It's Dada Soul. I'm located in Zion, Illinois.
Okay, well, I love the name, and if you're down in Illinois, you got a great marketplace already around you of people that love food. So here's the thing: social media is a great way to do it. We have people that start campaigns to get onto Triple D. I make it to Illinois at least once a year. Start to light it up.
Light it up. Hey, what's the name of it again? Say it slow and loud.
Dada Soul. DADAS Soul. Dada Soul, baby.
Okay, and it's in what city?
Zion, Illinois.
Zion, Illinois. Go check out Rico at Dada Soul. Tell him Sway in the Morning and Guy Fieri sent you.
That's the best kickoff he could ever get, man.
There you go, man. Rico, you gonna win, baby. We ever come out there, we coming for the free plates.
Yeah, you the best, Dada.
Hey, you got it, baby. You know it.
You a citizen, family.
Y'all said what? Because he's saying Dada.
You the
like
best,
my
Dada.
Little Kim said.
Lil Kim says that. Guy, thank you, man. It's always great seeing you, brother. Okay, every time. Tournament of Champions on Wednesday, March 4th, 10 p.m. on the Food Network. We got our Black History moment coming up next. Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5.